This episode of Lost Anarchy Presents has been brought to you by Ziggurat.com. There's nothing fake about it.
In the modern history of the Sith Empire, Darth Malgus stands out as a curiosity, a dark and dangerous enigma.
You're either a real Satanist, a true Satanist, or not. And if you are born that way.
Pretty much all my fans and followers know at this point that I'm an enormous fan of the Star Wars character Darth Malgus, so much so that he is my favourite Star Wars character ever conceived, EU or otherwise. Why? Because he's the best character in the history of the Star Wars franchise, a complete badass but emotionally sympathetic and tragic, brutal and intimidating but honourable and well-intentioned. So let's start off with Malgus' backstory. Darth Malgus was born Veridon on the planet of Dromund Kos in 3701 BBY, before the Battle of Yavin for you stunted, uncultured swine. Oh yeah! An orphan raised by an Imperial zoologist. Malgus formed a strong bond with many of the animals in the Guardian Zoo, great symbolism for the violent beast within Veridon himself. In fact, many of his philosophies of the dark side of the Force were inspired by traits of the animals in his father's zoo. That said, he was still rather fragile as a child, eager to prove himself to his stern father figure. And what was Veridon's rite of passage? Choking a bitch. No, I'm serious. He actually killed one of his master's servants just to make him proud, force choking her to death as a fucking child!
While delegations from the Empire, the Senate, and the Jedi Order began discussing the possibility of peace, preparations were made to strike at the heart of the Republic and seize its capital. It was the silver-tongued Darth Barras who was chosen to serve as the voice of the Empire to distract our enemy. While the high-ranking Sith Lord Darth Angral plotted the subjugation of Coruscant. Despite the distrust and divisions between them, together they ensured that the balance of power shifted in favor of the Empire, and proved once and for all that the threat of peace was just as deadly as the promise of war.
God damn! Not only is this disturbing and flat-out badass, but also adds a tragic edge to Veridon, that he has to strangle a woman to death just to prove himself to his father. It's dark and scarring material that will become more and more frequent as Veridon develops. After Veridon's violent act, he was sent to the Sith Academy on Korriban and trained by the Sith Lord Vindician. On a trip to the outer world of Geonosis, Malgus would meet a beautiful Twi'lek slave girl named Alina Daru.
It was Darth Malgus who personally led the assault, dealing a mortal blow to our ancient enemy.
The two formed a very strong and loving bond uncommon among true Sith, and despite their backgrounds, they truly did have a lot of chemistry. It could be argued that Veridon's friendly attitudes towards aliens and alien culture, and his hatred for slavery, were inspired by his love for Alina. But don't worry, this isn't the lovey-dovey Ken and Barbie's love story we're getting here. Oh yeah! After discovering Alina was abused and physically beaten by her master, Malgus brutally killed him and freed Alina, who would eventually become his wife. Acolyte Malgus and his master Darth Vindician would later play a pivotal role in the Sith recap of Korriban, leading a direct assault on a Republic space station just above the planet. Malgus not only took the station for the Sith, but slayed a high-ranking Jedi Master named Kao Ken Darak. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Malgus is relentless, brutal, a true visionary within the ranks of the Sith. It is only a matter of time before this powerful, enigmatic warrior turns his wrath on those who oppose the true way of the Sith. No matter who they may be.
Unfortunately, due to the failings of Darth Vindician, Darak's apprentice tells Shanran to escape. Malgus cut his master down in disgust and was promoted to the rank of Sith Lord and later Darth. And would suffer severe wounds requiring him to wear advanced cybernetics and a respirator after being nursed to health by his wife. However, he would soon have his revenge.
And then what happened?
Malgus immediately slew two high-ranking Jedi on his own right after his defeat on Alderaan, and followed up his minor revenge with much greater, sweeter vengeance. Darth Malgus would soon strike the Galactic Republic at its very heart, leading a direct assault on the Jedi Temple. And yes, I was there. You know how much arse I got from Twi'lek after we sacked Coruscant. Oh yeah! Malgus and Daru had a fairly deep discussion of their lives together in the Force, which would only cement Malgus' pro-alien sentiments later, before sharing a passionate kiss right before the battle. Vastly outnumbered and with limited support, Malgus slew many Jedi that day, including his rival Ben Zalo, scoring what would be perhaps the biggest moral victory against the Galactic Republic until Order 66, and completely crushing the morale of the Jedi under his steel boot. Darth Malgus was fueled by his anger and emotions, but they were also his only weakness. Malgus was very quick to protect Daru and would slay anybody who dared offend or threaten her. She was his world to him. With that being said, Malgus also had high aspirations to one day become the Sith Emperor and lead the Empire to an era of pro-alien tolerance and glory. His love for Daru was an obstacle and his only other emotional attachment. Heartbroken and devastated, Malgus killed the leader Daru, severing all his ties with anything but his goal. That is fucking tragic. Seriously, this may very well be the most tragic moment in all of Star Wars. It makes all the shit that goes down in any of the movies look like fucking Toy Story, and it really does shed quite a few tears. Everybody knows how Spider-Man's motto is, with great power comes great responsibility, but Malgus is forced to kill the only person he ever loved, and the only person who loves him, out of responsibility and duty to protect the Empire and protect the Imperial civilians. Let's see Spidey do that with Mary Jane. But in all honesty, it really does make Malgus a truly interesting character. He doesn't let attachments blind him, and is willing to do the most unforgivable act imaginable in his eyes for the greater good of the galaxy and the Empire. It really does raise the question, is he the bad guy for killing his wife, or is he doing what was really necessary for his quest to redeem the Empire?
As the Jedi Master drew his last breath, Darth Malgus taunted him with the promise that all of Coruscant would burn. But in the end, those who shared his vision were betrayed by the leaders who stole victory from our grasp for political purposes. Disgusted by the actions of the Dark Council, Darth Malgus walked away from the power games of the Empire after the Treaty of Coruscant. As top-ranking Sith fought to control the armies and vie for positions on the Dark Council, Darth Malgus chose to lead military expeditions into the unknown regions, claiming new territories and expanding the influence of the Empire as a whole.
Darth Malgus would eventually become the Sith Emperor.
Welcome to my throne room. So much history. So many glory days that slipped away from us. The Emperor is dead. Long live the new Emperor.
Although he died, he made it clear that his message would not.
You're as stubborn as the dying Empire.
Die or defeat me, he said. The Empire is reborn. And that sentence alone should be enough to explain why he's the best Star Wars character ever. Other Sith died with a pussy-ass redemption like Malak or Vader. I'm not shitting on Malak or Vader. They're some of my top 5 favorite Star Wars characters too. Or died with a whimper like Sidious or Maul. Darth Malgus was selfless in his goal to redeem and improve the Sith Empire and grant equality and freedom to aliens and slaves. But strong enough in his convictions that he regretted nothing when he gave his last breath. Malgus is a character that works on an emotional level with his relationship with Daru, an admiration level with his honesty, selflessness, and devotion to the greater good, and badassery level with his skills in wanton slaughter, fear, and intimidation. And that is why he is the best Star Wars character ever. All hail Emperor Malgus! Yes, he's also supposed to be in the new expansion of Star Wars The Old Republic, which I'm very excited to see because, let's face it, Darth Malgus is the man and nobody can fucking kill him.
Thought you were hot. Guess what? You're not. You are dead, dead, dead. You brought your whole adventure to a screeching halt. You are dead, dead, dead.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe or I will scratch your eyeballs out.
This episode has been brought to you by Ziggurat.com. There's nothing fake about it. We're the source for electronic cigarettes. Welcome to the 21st century. Quit smoking and start vaping. No tar, no secondhand smoke, no pollution, no offensive odors. Smoke without the guilt. We carry everything from egos to traditional electric cigarettes and a full line of accessories. So please come on down to zigret.com. All of our flavors are produced right here in the United States, and we can even say our flavors are kosher. So for the best flavors, the best vaping experience that you can get, go to zigret.com. And remember, all the flavor you will get vaping on your cigarette at zigret.com. That's zigret.com.